Hello friends, welcome to Basic Economy Theory Lecture 1 Part 2. Earlier we have seen basics of inflation in Lecture 1 Part 1. In this lecture we will see inflation and price indices, that is consumer price index, wholesale price index, index of industrial production and producer price index. So let's start with what is inflation. Inflation is the general increase in price across a basket of goods and services. And what happens with this general level of price rise across commodities? Let's say if you could purchase this basket for say rupees 500 in 2019. This basket in 2020 will cost rupees 600. Why? Because prices have increased. So what do you see as an immediate effect of inflation? Your same amount of currency is now buying less than it originally did. That is decrease in purchasing power of your currency. So direct effect of inflation is the decrease in purchasing power of your currency. Then we'll see the reasons of inflation. So suppose there is more money with people, that is more money in the market. What will happen? The demand of goods and services will go up, but the supply is same. So supply will not match demand. Thereby there will be a demand supply mismatch and that will cause prices to go up. This will be demand pull inflation. Or the prices of inputs that go into the manufacturing of these items will increase. So naturally there will be an increase in the prices of these items. This will be cost push inflation. Okay. So if prices are such that consumer can afford them, he'll be happy. But if the rate of change of price is too large, meaning there is high inflation, then the purchasing power of your currency decreases. We have seen this and this may lead to economic as well as political problems. So government has to monitor the inflation continuously, and if it rises, the central bank has to take measures to control it. And for monitoring the inflation, you need to first measure it. Now, there are different price indices by which government measures inflation. The first is consumer price index. Consider this as the basket of your essential needs, essential goods and services, which you need on a day-to-day basis and on which you, the consumer, spend your money. So let's see actually what this basket contains. This is the CPI index given by the Central Statistics Office, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, which releases the CPI index. This is the format in which CSO releases the CPI index. All the items are listed. CPI, urban, rural and combined is listed. So if you look at these items, these are the items of your essential needs. Cereals, eggs, milk, fruits, vegetables, etc. So what does CPI do? It tracks the change in retail prices of these items. Okay. It tracks the retail prices of items consumed by households, that is you, the consumer. Now, for different people, their basket of essential needs may differ. Therefore, we have 4 CPI numbers representative of 4 different baskets. We have CPI for agricultural labor, we have CPI for industrial workers, we have CPI for rural laborers, and we have CPI for urban non-manual employees. We also used to have this, but we have now abolished it. All the 3 CPI numbers are given by Labour Bureau. The base year for CPI IW, industrial workers, is 2001. It is now recommended that this should be changed to 2016. The base year for CPI AL is 1986-87 and the base year for CPI RL is 1986-87 again. Now CPI IW is used primarily for wage indexation and for fixing dearness allowance of government workers. Also, when pay commissions recommend pay revisions, CPI IW is taken into account. CPI AL is used for revising the wages of agricultural laborers. Okay. For different states, this is different. Now, along with these 3 CPI numbers, there is an All India Consumer Price Index. The All India CPI gives 3 numbers: CPI urban, rural and combined. This All India CPI is published by Central Statistics Office, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. On a monthly basis, that is 12th of every month, the data is released. And the data to compile this All India Consumer Price Index is taken from Consumer Expenditure Survey and National Sample Survey. This is the format in which CSO releases CPI numbers. All the items are listed along with their weights, and CPI urban, rural and combined is listed. Now there are different weights for different items in the CPI basket. And same item may have different weight for CPI urban and CPI rural. For example, food and beverages carries 54.18% weight in CPI rural, but the same food and beverages carries only 36.29% weight in CPI urban index. So same item may carry different weight in CPI urban and CPI rural. Then there is also a consumer food price index which specifically measures the food inflation, that is change in retail prices of food products. This CFPI, Consumer Food Price Index, is given by CSO, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. And this CFPI is also calculated on a monthly basis. The base year for CFPI is also 2012. These are the items in our CFPI, Consumer Food Price Index. Now, like there is a CFPI given by CSO, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, at global level also there is a similar index which tracks the change in prices of food commodities at global level. It is given by FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, and it is also called the FAO Food Price Index. The FAO food price basket contains cereals, vegetables, oil, dairy, milk and dairy, meat and sugar. And FAO also releases this index on a monthly basis. Now, the base year for these price indices is periodically changed, and the new price indices with new base year come into effect. Similarly, the present base year for CPI is 2012 with effect from 2015. Along with the change in base year, the items in the CPI basket and their weights are also reviewed periodically. Why this review is required? Let's understand that. As average incomes of Indians is increasing, food is becoming less important in monthly budget, right? Even in food category, cereals are becoming less important and eggs are gaining more weight. Eggs, milk products are gaining more importance. So people are spending more on these items than on cereals. So naturally, the weight of these items in CPI has to be more than that of cereals, right? Similarly, the weight of other items is also reviewed on a periodical basis. Why? Because higher incomes have changed the spending pattern of Indian families. Now we'll see what are the uses of Consumer Price Index. Basically, it is CPI that RBI uses for inflation targeting. All essential RBI tracks the CPI and keeps a tab on CPI inflation. As we have seen that what Consumer Price Index contains all essential commodities like food, beverages, milk, wheat, vegetables. These are the items which people have to spend their money on from their disposable income. So this CPI inflation gives an idea about the purchasing power of people and the real value of their salaries. So RBI uses this CPI. Let's come to Wholesale Price Index. What we have seen in CPI tracks the change in retail prices of essential goods and services. But when the consumer has spent their money on the items of their essential needs. But what WPI does? WPI tracks the inflation at wholesale level, that is business to business level, before the goods have reached the consumer. So the difference is clear. WPI tracks inflation at initial stages of the transaction and CPI tracks inflation when the consumer has spent his money on the items of his essential needs. Okay. Moving further, WPI is released by Economic Advisor in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And CPI is released by CSO, Central Statistics Office in the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. The base year for WPI is 2011-12. The base year for CPI is same, 2011-12. The current base year for WPI is 2011-12. There was a committee under the chairmanship of Dr. Soumitra Chaudhary and he recommended that the base year for WPI should be changed from 2004-5 to 2011-12. This is the seventh in the series of revisions, and these are the earlier base year for WPI. Let's look at the features of new WPI with new base year. The items in the WPI basket has been increased from 676 to 697, and like we have seen that there is a CPI food price index, now there is a WPI food index also. The WPI food index is also released by CSO. Keep in mind that WPI is released by Economic Advisor in the Ministry of Statistics and Industries, but WPI food index is released by CSO. Also, Consumer Food Price Index is also released by CSO. Now let's see the weight in WPI. In WPI, primary articles have 23% weight, food, fuel and power have 13% weight, and manufactured products have 64% weight. So manufactured products in WPI has the highest weight, that is 64%. This is the difference between weight in WPI for 2004 and 5 and the present base year 2011 and 12. As you can see, the weight of primary articles has increased from 20.12 to 22.62. So this is a significant increase of 2.5% in the weight of primary articles. Weight of fuel and power has been decreased, and manufactured product, the weight is more or less the same. Now, as there is a CPI food price index, there is also a WPI food index. Let's take a easy question. With the latest revision in WPI series of index, which of the following is true? Weight of primary articles is increased, weight of manufactured articles is increased, weight of fuel and power has decreased. If you're watching this video on our website, you can go ahead and mark the right answer on your screen. After you have attempted all the questions in this lecture, you can review your score for the quiz. So take your time to answer this. So we have seen that weight of primary articles is increased. That's right. Weight of manufactured products has not increased. It is 64%. We have seen that it is more or less the same. Weight of fuel and power has decreased. Okay, so this is right. So answer is 1 and 3. Let's take another question. Which of the following has the highest weight in WPI basket? Primary articles, manufactured products, fuel and power, and electricity. We have seen that manufactured products with 64% weight in WPI basket, it has the highest weight. Okay. Let's quickly see the difference between CPI and WPI. WPI tracks wholesale inflation at the initial stages of the transaction, while CPI tracks after the consumer has spent his money on the items of his essential needs. So CPI tracks inflation from consumer point of view, but WPI tracks inflation from the trader's point of view. RBI uses CPI as a tool for inflation targeting and not WPI. WPI inflation is used at macro level policy making, and CPI is used at micro level analysis like inflation targeting. So that was all about CPI and WPI. Now let's come to producer price index. See, before this we have seen CPI. We have seen that CPI tracks inflation from the consumer point of view. We have seen WPI. WPI tracks inflation from the trader's point of view. Okay. Producer price index tracks inflation, let's say, from the producer's point of view. We'll understand how. Let's say you are the automobile manufacturer. Not every part, nut, bolt you will manufacture yourself, right? You will order some supplies from someone who manufactures nuts, bolts and other small parts. And as you manufacture automobiles, you're going to need these supplies continuously. So you will sign a deal with the supplier of these items that you two will sit together and you will decide at what price you should get these supplies. Okay, but there is a problem. The prices of these supplies may fluctuate in the long run. Sometimes it will be high, sometimes it will be low, again high, low. So they will fluctuate because such long term. So how you will sign the deal? Any long term deal will require that prices need to be stable, but prices are fluctuating. So it will be difficult if you just fix one single fixed price for the goods and supplies, that is not possible because prices can fluctuate to any extreme. So what businesses do, these two people, producer and supplier, will sign a contract, and in that contract they will include a clause that the price at which the supplies are sold by the supplier will be adjusted on a quarterly basis according to the producer price index. Okay, quarterly means every 3 months the prices will be adjusted. So what is happening here? The selling price of supplies is changing. Selling price is changing, and that is why these two people are entering into a contract that they will adjust the selling price according to the producer price index. So what producer price index do? It is tracking the movement of selling price from domestic production over a period of time. Okay. So producer price index measures average change in the prices of goods and services either when they leave the place of production, or that is called the output PPI, or when they enter the production, that is called the input PPI. Now we have already seen CPI and WPI. So one major difference between WPI and PPI is WPI does not take into account services, but PPI does take into account the services. And a major difference between CPI and PPI is CPI measures the changes in average prices that a consumer has to pay for the items of essential needs, and PPI estimates the change in the average price that producer receives. Okay. Now let's come to IIP, Index of Industrial Production. What Index of Industrial Production do? It will track the growth of different industries over a period of time. Simple. It will just see what was the volume of production in, say, month of January, and what is the volume of production in February. It will just see that, and it will see whether it has increased or whether it has decreased. Whether the production volume has decreased or increased, that's it. So on a broader base, industries are classified as mining, electricity, and manufacturing. The Index of Industrial Production is given by Central Statistics Office, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation on a monthly basis. Okay. Weight wise, you can see manufacturing has the highest weight in the IIP, 78%. Mining has 14% and electricity has 8%. So manufacturing has the highest weight of 78%. If you see the difference between the weights in earlier base year and the present base year, you will see that the weight of manufacturing has been increased. Okay. From 75.52% to 77.633%. The weights of manufacturing have been increased and others are more or less the same. Mining is more or less the same. Electricity, the weight of electricity is decreased. Now there are 8 core industries which have a combined weightage of 40.27% in the IIP. So coal, crude oil, natural gas, refinery products, fertilizer, steel, cement, electricity. All this contribute 40.27% to the IIP. Let's take an easy question. Which of the following are among the 8 core industries? Cement, fertilizer, natural gas, refinery products and textiles. Again, if you're watching this video on our website, you can go ahead and click the right answer on your screens. So answer is 1, 2, 3 and 4 only. Textile is not a part of IIP. In this question, you can eliminate what is not the part of IIP, and if you wish to remember, you can remember it this way, that coal, crude oil and natural gas sources of energy, refinery products are the byproducts of the sources of energy, steel, cement, electricity, very very crucial for establishing any traditional industry, adding to it fertilizer, which is a traditional industry. So that was all about this lecture. This completes our topic, price indices. So far we have seen inflation and inflation indices. In coming lectures, we will see terms associated with inflation and monetary policy to target inflation. Thank you, and I hope it was helpful. If you have any doubt, you can reach out to our team. Thank you.